What's going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick update video here in regards to my arena success. Now that I'm actually finally back into the top 5 here. I've been actually at top 5 ranking for the past almost a week here now, and I'm going to showcase for you guys what my defense is, but as well what's been working for me in terms of the teams. And what's crazy about this, guys, is that I know this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme, but the fact that I do have the lowest TCP, 42 million, and when you compare that to some of the other competitors that I'm up against, right, 100 million plus, Mr. Vor is 64, Big Slick is 53, Justin closest, 66 million there. So I mean, Chris I think usually is a little bit closer to me, 53, but I mean, regardless, guys, the point I'm trying to demonstrate here is that arena is one of the areas in the game where you don't need that big of a difference in roster size, because you're really just working on 5 to 6 characters that shine, and it's truly understanding the different matchups and using those teams in the right moment, so that way you can capitalize. And why does it matter? Well, because in my honest opinion, I think power cores are actually the most important resource in the game. Power cores are the only way that you can refresh campaign nodes, get additional energy, whether it be the regular campaign, ISO 8, incursion. So that's going to give you more activity and just allow you to be able to thrive and succeed in the game. Even getting additional attacks and raids, refreshing characters being utilized for Dark Dimension. It's just the universal resource that you want to be capitalizing on if you can take advantage of, especially since it seems like anyways in my bracket, it's the more engaged players that can easily rank up here. I know when they released level 100, I was pushed all the way down to this top 20, but then once people have settled, they've stopped engaging in arena, and we haven't had an arena event for quite some time. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it, guys. Now, I'm not going to be rehashing any of my past counter videos because I've already done that. So what I'll do below, guys, is I'm going to link in my counter videos, some of the best meta teams to use right now in the arena meta, but I want to more so talk about the main characters you'll be needing if you want to be succeeding in this top 5. I'm going to show you my defense, and on top of that as well, I also want to talk about my strategy of how I've been able to get consistently top 2, top 3 in arena. And really, it's kind of impossible for me to be number 1 because as you can see here, the only one I can attack now at the very end is We Ate Pizza, and he's got gear tier 18, excuse me, gear tier 19 on 3 out of the 5 characters. He's got a fully maxed out Black Cat, and as well as his Black Knight's actually 2 diamonds. So I've tried attacking him. There's no chance. I mean, I'm close, but the thing is that look at my power, right? It's a 1 million plus punch up, and I can almost take him down. But so the other point I'm trying to drive home is that for arena meta anyways, punch ups are definitely possible. Most of the time I am punching up about 300 to 400k with each of my characters and teams. And what I really do like about arena is that you don't actually need all your characters built up all the way to level 100 to be competitive. I actually don't have a single character at level 100, even though my my commander level is 100 already. But what you will need is to bring all these characters up to gear tier 18, so you have the opportunity to pivot and switch up the teams and the counters. And again, I'm going to link that below, guys, if you need to understand some of the best meta counters right now and what I've been using anyways. But there's essentially a staple 2 or staple 3 that you need basically in almost every single team combination, and typically Apocalypse is included in that mixture. I found that Miss Marvel Highlight is usually the second character that's really important in terms of tanking. She's the pseudo counter to Apocalypse if you're facing up against that matchup. And then after that, it's usually either Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, or we have Black Cat here being those pivot characters. And then finally, what I've seen in certain situations then it's Kang the Conqueror, as well as Morgan Le Fay, and then Void Knight. And actually, Void Knight has been definitely one of the more popular ones because he is the counter to Black Knight, right? If you start off with Void Knight and he activates his ultimate ability here, he applies the ability block on Black Knight, but as well as flipping pauses, right? So that gives you that advantage in positioning, and that's why it's kind of nice to have Miss Marvel Highlight, because even if you do counter Black Knight in the beginning, if you have a Miss Marvel on the opposing side, she may still be able to taunt, and that's where the strategy is involved here. Now, what is surprising, guys, is that you can actually get, I would say, probably top 20 actually without even Super Skrull on your team, because Super Skrull is more of a liability now on defense than he is. There's only one matchup that typically you would use him on offense, and I think that the team that's shown here with Big Slick, yes, so this is the only team when you're going up against that you would actually bring in Super Skrull. Otherwise, I actually would never recommend using Super Skrull on defense or on offense. This is the only team combination just because you need to get that turn meter rewind at the very beginning, and it gives you an edge in that battle. But again, this is such a big punch up that it doesn't matter. Now, I want to talk about my defense, guys. For some reason, this is working really, really good, but you can see here, most of my opponents are actually around 2.6, 2.7 million in defense capabilities. But for me, my defense is only 2.3 million, but it holds because this is a very good positioning. And I want to talk about each and every character of why they're important, right? So you have Black Knight on the far left. He's going to be taunting on spawn. And then even if you have any kind of adjacent damage on him, Black Cat's next to him, so that way she can also get protection, and she usually has the immunity and so forth, so it doesn't really matter. We got Apocalypse in the middle if he gets attacked, and actually you do want him to get pushed, because if so, then he's going to get his turn. And then we have Void Knight and Miss Marvel rounding out the right side, because Miss Marvel's going to have that supplementary taunt if need be. And if there is a character that we're up against, such as Void Knight, being able to counter, Miss Marvel is going to have that taunt at least to protect against a Apocalypse ultimate. And then we also have a Void Knight on our side to counter any Black Knights getting used against us when they're getting attacked, when they're attacking us as a defensive team. So this has been really helpful. Fortifier on Black Knight, Striker Black Cat, Striker Apocalypse, Raider Void Knight, and then a Skirmisher on Miss Marvel. This is able to keep me up, and even when I do get attacked, it's easy for me to progress again. And then but the number one tip, guys, I want to leave with you on how I've been able to land these rankings, and it's funny because obviously this is one of the better ones, but typically when you're in the top 3, top 4, there's actually less and less attacks. So you really just need to be able to time your attacks in the very, very final, I would say 10 to 15 minutes of the night. So for me, it's 10 p.m. Mountain Time. So I'm usually logging in around 9:45, 9:50 to see where I'm ranking right now. And usually I'd be sitting at like the 5 or 6 or 7 mark, and I would just do 2 attacks. The reason why you want to do 2 consecutive attacks is because typically 5 minutes before the time that actually concludes here for arena, usually some players can get locked out. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, like, when you go ahead here and you attack someone like We Eat Pizza, you engage with him, he can't be attacked for the duration that there's battles happening, right? So you want to be putting yourself in that position where by the time you time out, and I do have a video on that actually, so I'm gonna link that below, but by the time you time out, essentially you conclude your battle, and then the clock's gonna actually wind down, and boom, you capture your reward. Now what's kind of funny about this is that I'm still sitting at rank 2. Typically I would have already been attacked to number 4 or 5 12 hours later, but in this case I still have 12 hours left. So that's a great example here of why I wanted to record this and showcase for you guys that usually if you're in the top 2, top 3 spots, you don't get attacked that much, and even then you only need the characters and some of those meta tunes I've discussed here. But again, big emphasis on Apocalypse, Robbie, Black Cat, as well as Void Knight and Miss Marvel Hardlight. And then pivot characters would be Morgan Le Fay, Kang the Conqueror, and those one-off instances with Super Skrull. So I'll link everything below for your guys' reference, but I just want to share my experience of how I've been able to maintain this positioning, because really where you want to be is in the top 3, top 4 spots, because you can see how much it grows here from the power core perspective, right? 4 and 5 gives you 350, which is nice, but then the moment you go to rank 3 or rank 2, 400, 450 power cores per day, that's astronomical. It's really, really helpful in just building up the balance as we're seeing right now in my account, free to play. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to share and clarify anything if you guys are confused. Hope this is able to help push you guys higher and higher in those arena rankings. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.